people that have millions of dollars invested in crypto probably buy different coins than I do because they tend to make quite good decisions. So the question is, how do we find those whales in crypto and what tokens do they buy? I'll show you a couple different ways first on how to find those wallets, and then we take a look at what those people buy. Some of you ask if I can find this guy's wallet, and maybe I did, maybe I just find a wallet that buys the same things that he does. How do we find whale wallets? You take any token out there. Let's go with Illuvium for example. You can see that they have their contract address here. You copy that and you go to, number one would be Etherscan. When you search for the contract and it shows up, you can always click on this section here called Token Tracker. And then for the second tab, click on Holders, where you can then see who is the highest amount of tokens for the selected coin. Now most of these over here are either contracts themselves or just exchanges like Binance, Gate.io and so on, but we can still see all the addresses over here that hold a certain percentage of that token. And then this is pretty much just guesswork. You select them, click on that, filter by token holder, and then see what they have in their wallet. When they only send transactions every couple days or so, it is most likely a human being, but if they, for example, send a transaction every second or so, then this one is obviously an exchange. It is also mostly noted up there. And then if the wallet has an actual name, for which you can use Ethereum Name Service, ENS, then this is most likely going to be a real person. So you would select that, click on filter by token holder, and then see what tokens they have, and that way you can find tokens. The other option would be if you take the token address of anything and we go to DEX view, where you can see like a live chart of buys and sells. You will then see recent purchases, for which you can click on total, select this option, select wrapped ETH or whatever else it gives you, and for example put in like 6 ETH minimum and infinite for the highest cap, and then this set is going to refresh and only show you transactions in that price range. So if you only want to find people that minimum put in, let's say 12 ETH and up to 1,000, you can then search that way. And then here on the right hand side, you can just click on the wallet that made that purchase and then find wallets that have hundreds of thousands of dollars in them. Then select tokens and see what they have. This one has, I don't know what that is, but then you can take that name STFX, go back over here, type it in, find it, see the performance, see the market cap of that thing, and then do your research. Important thing is though, when you do that, click on the token first in the wallet and then look at all the transactions of when they bought the token, because there could be a good chance that they bought this token or any other token that they have last bull run when the price was up here for example, and then they're just holding that to get back to the same price or higher to finally sell it off. Now option 3, and that is you simply use Twitter and search for tweets of people that buy a bunch of tokens, mention what they bought. This over here could be CryptoGod John wallet, or it's not. All I know is I saw this about 3 weeks ago when he tweeted about that he replied to a guy who said everybody else is flooding that the tokens that he mentions, he just tries to sell, dump on everybody else, find some exit liquidity, and then used this wallet as an example that he's still holding all those tokens. Could be his wallet, maybe it's not. He didn't deny it in the reply, so let's just pretend for the sake of this argument, this could be his wallet. Now, how do you find the wallet? In the top left corner, you can see the Ethereum name server's name, and then you head over to Etherscan, and you can just type it in over here. Then you can see down here who registered the name and who owns that, select it, and then we go back to this person has that name, and that is the wallet attached to it. Now, if you follow CryptoGod John on Twitter, or you know who he is fairly big. He is in the Wealth group, which I think is a private Discord, where they make a bunch of calls and always show how much profit people make, and he openly tweets about a bunch of different tokens, and if this one is his wallet, or at least somebody who follows all the tweets he makes, you can see how much they hold of certain tokens, and then when you select the token, you can see when they bought the token originally and what their history is with all of that. Now, when it comes to this specific example, if he tweets about that anyways, there's no point in looking at the Etherscan overview, because you know when he tweets about that, he probably buys it. But here's why looking at the wallet is still important. And that is, if you simply make it like a daily routine, you save all the different wallets that you find in different ways to a bookmark and just open them, and then look through of the recent transactions they made, you could see exactly when they bought a new token and then check with Twitter, for example, if they mentioned that at all. Because there's a really good chance that they buy the token first, leave it for a day or so, and then tweet about that, and then the price goes up. Most of the tokens in there are up by like 1 or 2x. However, the market cap for all the tokens is usually between 10 million and $100 million, which might sound like quite a lot, but for crypto, that's not a lot. And if you are an influencer and you have a giant audience attached to whatever you say, then there are usually like 10 to 50 million that can simply flood into a token with a single tweet. So Zigcoin, for example, is up by 250%. To be fair, anything that has to do with gaming is up by 2.5x anyways. But let's say he would have bought it here and tweeted about that here, then that alone is the difference between a 2.5x and a 1.5x. What I did earlier for fun for Alex Becker is look at the contract for Neo Tokyo and then simply go through some of the holders of the NFT as well as filter it by people that own their Bytes token and then find a bunch of wallets that have a certain amount, at least $100,000 plus, and then look at their token holdings to see what they own. And that way, similar to blockchain bets, where some of the holders of Neo Tokyo got the token almost a year ago, you can find a couple different tokens that personally I never heard about. So for example, there's Zuka, which looks good in the past month, in the all time, not as well. But then you can click on their Twitter, their website, their Discord, whatever, see if this one is something actually worth it, and then take your magic internet money and maybe put it in there. At this moment, I have no idea what this one is. I didn't look at that at all. But that is a process you can repeat as often as you like, because everything in crypto is transparent. You pretty much have infinite wallets and transactions available. But here's what I would do. Let's take EllioTrades for example. He has Superverse, right? So you type in Superverse, you get it here. Let's take the following line of thinking. People in his Discord and the ones that support him in this game, they probably know a lot about crypto or at least spend a bunch of time with it. So there's a good chance that they not just invest into his game, but also similar games that have a good chance of going up, or at least the ones that are shared about in their private Discords. So they probably bought those tokens. Maybe even before Ellio talks about them at all. So before the entire thing goes insane. So what you can do is you take the contract address, head back to Etherscan, put it in, select it, select the token tracker. Then we click on holders again, and then we try to search for wallets that have a clear amount of tokens. Reason being, when you swap into a token, and you could buy, let's say, 47,800 tokens, you feel like that's not the best number. 50,000 makes more sense because that's clean. Humans think in clean numbers. So we can probably say that this person over here that bought 1.5 million is probably a real human that is inactive for 2 years and hasn't done anything. But they have 1.7, almost 1.8 million worth of tokens, and they bought ERN, whatever that is. They have XCAT, and they also have Sidus as well as Senate, and a few other tokens. Now the annoying part is that you probably click on all of them one by one to find the ones that are active in the last 30 days, because for any of the projects out there that were around last bull run, there's a good chance that most of the people that bought a large amount of them simply hold the token and don't do crypto at the moment. So for some of the guys that are more active in crypto, they have some Chainlink, they got some Hex, some STG, LQTY, and a bunch of others that you then gotta research and see, is the market cap low enough so it's easy enough to double your money or more? And how does the distribution look like with tokens? One thing I noticed for most of the wallets that hold either D-Race or blockchain bets or anything else that has to do with gambling, they all hold the biggest coin called Rollbit. So if you like gambling, you probably heard about the biggest coin in there anyways. But if you haven't, this could be something for you. Because if you consider the traditional gambling websites that people advertise, like stake.com or Rubat, they pay the influencers that advertise them millions of dollars every single month. And if this is crypto, and the bull run is about to happen, maybe we see this one on Formula 1 cars again, similar to FTX last time. And then this one over there gets 2 zeros, sits at $60 billion because people love to waste their money, and then everybody's happy. And lastly, in order to find tokens where pretty much nobody knows about them, because nobody has talked about them yet, you probably have to join private communities or Telegram groups, as there's a good chance that people, they all want their friends and themselves to buy all these small tokens first, and then they talk about that on YouTube. Don't lose your money. None of this is financial advice. And let's hope the bull run starts soon so we all get rich. And then we're gonna eat steak and fries every single day. And until then, take care.